So, firstly, namaste. I really feel also very happy because now India, the over 1,000 years, the concept of ahimsa, concept of karuna, you see, in this country, you see, these two very important also the concept develop. With that, eventually, you see, a lot of philosophy and including logic. So later, those great Indian thinkers, philosophers, you see, they carry the message of ahimsa and karuna through logical way. So now, today, of course, I respect all tradition because I fully committed promotion of religious harmony and also the harmony in different people, like that. So therefore, I respect all different tradition, but if we, through a logical approach, investigation, then the India's, you see, 1,000-year-old, this concept, very logical. Now, practically, today's world really need ahimsa and karuna. If these two things, you see, remain also they alive, and more people, you see, pay attention, then our world much sort of peaceful, much better. So therefore, and then India's also, you see, important thing is secular. So this concept related with some dharma, but then not necessarily, you see, you should follow or believe dharma, religion. Whether believe certain things or not is up to individual. Generally, we really need the secular ethics. So these two things, ahimsa, karuna, is actually the secular ethics. And then the karuna and ahimsa is a further also the then different religious tradition, different philosophy, you see, involved. So now, today, I feel great honor to speak with people who actually belong this country. So we are actually follower or student of this ancient Indian thought. I always describe, in 1,000 years ago, you see, you are our guru. We are chela. You see, we learn from India Now the 7th century, the Tibetan king, he married with Chinese princess, and also, firstly, Chinese or the emperor introduced Buddhism in Tibet. But the Tibetan king, Songtsen Gampo, he married with Chinese princess, and also you see the most statue, important statue, Buddha statue, and picture, that one, you see, brought from China. But it seems, you see, the Tibetan emperor, Songtsen Gampo, 7th century, certainly he enjoyed that marriage, and but he feel too tired to learn Chinese letter, too complicated. So he, in spite marriage and very close link, he determined he want to develop our own script, Tibetan script, copy from Indian Devanagari, and alphabet like that. So then, 8th century, when you see Buddhism introduced Tibet by Nalendra master, Shanta Rakshita, that's 8th century. The again Tibetan emperor, he decide Buddhism is concerned must bring from directly from India, not through China. And then the Tibetan emperor, Chisung Tezin, he invited at that time one of the top master of Nalendra, Shanta Rakshita, very old, but he invited. Then Shanta Rakshita reached Tibet. He advised to Emperor Chisung Tezin, since you have your own language, your own script, so now should translate from Sanskrit or from Pali, so on. So then, eventually, you see, also the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, very much they our tradition, like Nalendra, we extensively use logical approach. So, the Nalendra tradition, even Buddha himself, you see, made clear, all my follower, monks, nuns, should not accept my teaching out of faith, but rather thorough investigation. So he, you see, show us the investigation, logical approach is important. So the Nalendra master, like Nagarjuna and Arya Asanga, and Dignath, Dharmakirti, Chandakirti, Buddhapalita, all these Nalendra master, you see, their sort of way of thinking, always investigate. Even Buddha's own word, if you find some difficult to accept because some illogical, then we have the right to reject Buddha's own word. Like Nagarjuna, reject some Buddha's own word. That's something great. So the concept of secular, some sort of what's the philosophical things or logical things which mentioned in Buddhist text, you should consider academic subject rather than just you say, oh, this is part of Buddhism or taught by Buddha, we must accept. Not that way. So therefore, you see India's concept, the secular way. So consider all these subject as an academic subject, not religious subject. So religion, individual matter. But this knowledge is knowledge for everybody, particularly now today's world. These ancient Indian knowledge, based on karuna, ahimsa, these world need. So different religion, that's personal matter. But these concepts are something relevant for humanity. So I'm very, very happy having this meeting. And then half joke, over 1,000 years, we as a chela of Indian Guru. Now today, Indian Guru, I think much neglected in this knowledge. So now traditional Indian Gurus, chela, now have to act like Guru. So in any way, now real sort of point is now today's world, lot of problem. Many problem, essentially, human beings, our own creation. You see, nobody want problem. You know why we create a lot of problem? The reason, you see, our thinking, not sort of wise or related with ahimsa, karuna. So therefore, now this time, the 1,000-year-old India's sort of thought, karuna, ahimsa, now must not only preserve, must sort of revive, and on the basis of secular way. Other country, you see, different tradition, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and so on. That's their personal religion. But as far as concept of ahimsa and karuna is concerned, is common for every human being. So now, I always feel India in modern time. Now look, India, I think two most populated nations, China and India. This country, comparatively very peaceful. And all major world religious traditions live together in this land. For example, you see, in Muslim country, Shia and Sunni fighting. In this country, I never heard problem between Indian Shia and Sunni. Like that, I never heard. When I heard our neighboring country, some problem between Shia and Sunni, I surprised. So therefore, India's 1,000-year-old tradition, you see, ahimsa, karuna, is the really basis of happy society, happy country. So now, India should pay more attention and show rest of the world the religious harmony and according principle of ahimsa and karuna. So now our Indian brothers, sisters, is now in previous century, Mahatma Gandhi ji, you see, show world ahimsa. Now I think we follow that and combine with karuna. And then secular way, you see these different philosophical sort of also the ideas. Now India's philosophy is nothing exists objectively, independently. It is very close sort of thinking. The kasa.
Quantum physics.
Oh, quantum physics. You see, quantum physicists, they say nothing exists as appears, the external thing, material thing. So there is a big gap, appearance and reality. That's a quantum physicists, they say. That's very important. You see, most of the negative emotion, such as anger or jealousy, too much attachment, you see, these, you see, based on appearances. So, in order to reduce these negative, strong emotion, which is based on appearances, thinking deeper line, then nothing exists as appears. That's exactly the Indian ancient philosophy. You see, mentioned that. Like late Raja Ramana, once he told me the quantum physics in the West, it is new. But this country, he told me, over 2,000 years ago, already developed the quantum physics. And then he recite some Nagarjuna's, some verses of Nagarjuna's text. It is very true, very true. So India, in these deeper level, in order to tackle emotion, a subtle way, I think India's tradition is very useful, very helpful. And meantime, on secular way. So now that I always see now telling these days, for example, hygiene of physical already exists on this planet, much sort of developed. Now, hygiene of emotion, only India's tradition, including other religion also. There's other religion, not much talk about, you see, what's the mental, how's the kasa?
Mental hygiene. Hygiene of emotion.
Hygiene of emotion. Ka, right? So now, as I mentioned earlier, now the world really facing some crisis about emotion. So in such sort of case, India's 1,000-year-old tradition can help through education way, not religious way, strictly based on secular. So one of my commitment is a revival of these ancient Indian knowledge, how to take care of peace of mind on the basis of ahimsa and karuna. Now, I'm sort of fully committed revival of these ancient Indian knowledge or secular way.